Hello and welcome to how to play this card game. Yes, TCG, this card game. To start, both players will decide who goes first. We're going to decide the bottom player goes first, and then the top player will be going second. The first player will start with only one of these power tokens, and they will have 4 cards. The player going second will start with 2 power tokens and also 4 cards in hand. And we'll start with the power phase, where you would get your token. And then you will choose one of these cards to become a resource. We will choose L here. So now we have 2 power. The power tokens help us pay for cards as well. You can think of these as sort of like a temporary assist to pay for cards, whereas these kind of increase your max power. You'll get it the more you see. So we're spending 2 to play this card, and then we can't do anything else on the first turn, so we will pass it over to this player. And this player will draw 1 card, and then they will get their 2 power, and then they will choose a card here to become a resource. We'll choose Luigi. And now they have 3 power to work with. So use this 2 to play Lilo and Stitch, and then use this 1 to play Santa Claus. And now, while we're in the main phase, we can do things like pay power to play cards, and we can also attack, but you can only attack a card that's sideways or busy, so there's nothing to attack. So instead we will be switching to the quest phase at the end, and cards do not have summoning sickness, so we shall start questing. Now the way questing works is this: you have the large number in black to the right of the image. That's the bravery. You'll be comparing bravery between cards. And it's not quite as simple as it looks, but I think you get used to it. So for example here, Lilo and Stitch will quest against Toothless. Because they were able to at least be equal, they'll score 1 victory point. And then because it's greater, you also add the difference, so we'll be getting 2 from that. And then because Toothless was quested against, you could say he is like pulled by Lilo and Stitch. So this will open Santa Claus here. So Santa Claus would be able to quest. Otherwise, like let's say these were both at 1, like Santa Claus could quest against Toothless, and then Toothless would score his own. Well, that was something I've decided. For right now, you could think of it as chump blocking in Magic the Gathering, where this just sort of like pulls the aggro away from this, and then this would only score you 1. But that's not always the greatest thing to do, because not only are you not getting points for chump questing, you're also opening them up to being attacked on the crackback. We switch all of our busy cards to free, and then now we're getting 2 power tokens at the start of the turn. And then now, during the power phase, we'll also be drawing 2 cards, and then we can choose a card to put as a resource. We will put this Frosty as a resource. And now we have 4 power, which we can spend. I am actually going to start with Simon Belmont, mostly just to explain Trap and Activate. Trap is an effect you can normally activate from hand, so we see Miles Morales here. Trap 0, 0 meaning this costs 0 power to use, but it has its own unique cost. Return a cost 3 card from your hand to your play area, and then you can play Miles Morales. So trap effects can be used pretty much at any time, as long as they're in your hand. And then the activate effect is kind of like a trap effect, but the card has to be in the play area. Although for Simon, he can activate his trap effect by paying 2 power and discarding a card from his hand. And let's see, we should probably do some attacking. So Simon is going to attack. So you'll see in the bottom left, there's 500, 500. The left number is attack, the right number is defense. When 2 cards hit each other, compare the attack versus the defense. 500 is greater than 400, so Lilo and Stitch is defeated. 300 is less than 500, so Simon is not defeated. Whereas if he attacks Santa Claus, they would both be defeated. Now, Toothless could attack Santa Claus here, but they would defeat each other, and we're going to value the victory points more. So... yeah, so Toothless is going to quest against Santa Claus, 1 for at least matching, and then the difference is 1. So he'll score 2, and then he has the keyword score +1, so he'll get 3 in total. And that will end our turn. And now they have 4 resources with which they will... oh, I guess I could have used this trap during the last attack, I forgot. It's hard to play as 2 people at the same time. Ted Striker will come out here. And then... Katana will also be played. And Katana will swing into Simon Belmont. But we will activate Miles Morales' trap effect here, which will allow us to return that Simon Belmont. But because this has already declared an attack, now it has to choose something to attack if possible. And that would leave only Toothless here. Although now that Miles Morales is a free card, remember free is vertical, busy is horizontal. He's a free card, which means he can block. He could block this attack, but it wouldn't be very advantageous. So we'll just let Toothless take it, and then we'll put Toothless on top of the deck, and then... Katana couldn't be blocked anyway, but we chose not to block, so it doesn't really matter. Or we want to block. And now they have no other busy cards to attack, so they're going to switch over to the quest phase. And Ted Striker is going to quest against Miles. 2 is equal to 2, so he gets at least 1, and then score +1. And that will end the second player's turn. We will actually resource Toothless. And now we have 5 power. Which we'll start with Sherlock Holmes. Look at the top X. Put 1 into your hand and the rest on the bottom. 1, 2, 3. I think we're going to get the most powerful card here. And then we'll go Hootie and... part of me wants to keep up the extra power, and I don't think we need to. We'll just play Mrs. Peacock. And now, do we want to attack Ted Striker with anything while he has Santa Claus up as a blocker? I don't think so. We'll just switch to the quest phase and start questing. So Mrs. Peacock is going to... oh, I forgot to mention, when questing you must go from a player's the highest bravery an opponent controls to the lowest. So I couldn't do this immediately, for example. And since she's the only one I plan on questing with, she'll have to go Ted Striker. So 2 equals 2, and then +2. And currently we're going to 10, but like a lot of things in this game, I'm still debating rules. I'm just showing the game as it is. I feel like the game as is right now, at the very least, functions, but there's still some choices I have to make. I'm having trouble officially deciding things. But yeah, we'll keep... It's probably 2 defensive, but I think Mrs. Peacock could probably start winning this game on her own. We're just going to keep up a bunch of blockers. I forgot he had the trap effect. No. We don't really need to actually resource anything here, because either we could go Mickey John, or we could just go Kai. We're just going to go Kai. That'll help us destroy the Mrs. Peacock. Just load that up. Something like this makes me think you should be able to just attack any card, but free card should block. But for right now, let's see. Nothing to attack. Kai is going to quest against Sherlock Holmes. That'll score 1 point. And then Ted is going to score against Miles. That'll be 1-2. Santa could bring it to 9, which is only 1 away, but for right now, we're going to keep him up as a blocker. Yeah, we can actually... Because that'll put us at 6 power, which will allow us to play 2 3s. Which also allows me to talk about Energetic, which is pretty simple. The card can attack, and then it can also quest. Where normally a card can only choose one or the other. Although, of course, in order for it to quest in the same turn, it has to be alive. I mean, we're just gonna win the game, so we don't really have to do anything. We'll just immediately go to questing. 3 is greater than 2. So 1, 2. Then -1 because of the joke keyword. And now we just need another 2, which Miles Morales. And now that we've quested with more than they have, we just get free questing, which we've already exceeded the 10 limit, which I keep thinking about raising to 15, but I don't want the games to go on too long, so 10 seems like a good number, but it also seems a little too easy to reach and a little too easy to stop, which is why I probably should change it so any card can be attacked, but free cards can still block. Or maybe just no blockers at all, or have blocker as a keyword. But yeah, that's the card game so far. I just, for whatever reason, started obsessing over turning 1,000 blank white cards into something a bit more... Like, I wanted to keep it casual, but something a little bit more competitive, and this is what I have in mind. Thank you for checking out the video, and I hope you'll stay tuned for more.